Did you know that 11% of the people choose to do for sale by owner?
11% do for sale by owner. That means 89% who have not, and they use a real estate agent. Hi, my name is Sam.
I'm Eliza.
We are the Offman team. Here are 8 steps that you need to know on how to do FSBO for sale by owner.
Step 1. Decide if for sale by owner is right for you.
You really need to know about that. That's to decide if that is the right thing to do for you. Are you ready to negotiate? Are you ready and well versed with the contracts? Are you ready to know how to? And by the way, why are you going to do? Why people do FSBO?
To save commission.
To save on commission, to save money. So it's about the bottom line. So are you ready to do all the legal things and to know how to get it done? If you say, yes, I'm ready, I can do it, good for you. This may be for you.
So all those disclosures you have to know.
Yes.
Step 2. Consider curb appeal, declutter, and depersonalize.
Curb appeal is important. You know, first impression, right? First impression important. Outside, make it look good. Make it look inviting. Inside, declutter.
Personal pictures.
Take all this out, right?
Big things out. The knickknacks, the personal things that you like.
How about valuable? Valuable that could be easily taken. Take those out and put them somewhere else. Maybe you could stage your house with your own furniture, and the extra furniture you could take it down to the maybe
garage
or somewhere else, put it away, and paint. Do all these things and fix it. So get it ready.
Well, step 3, price your property correctly.
That's important step. Price your property correctly. You could use Hello, Milo, and other places, and online. That's fine, but that only gives you the general idea. They did not come into your house to give it to you exactly what the price should be or at. It is a general idea.
Exactly.
So every house have its own character. It has its own pluses and minuses. You have to keep that in mind.
Yes, you do. Have a marketing plan.
A marketing plan is important. That is a huge step. Have a marketing plan. So,
how do buyers find the house to buy?
Most buyers, and you know it right now, they find the house online. 50%, and it's going up, is on the internet.
And also 28% uses real estate agents.
28% they use the real estate agent. Those two are huge.
How about 7% yard sign?
Oh, you know that yard that you put on the for sale by owner or for sale? 7%, that's huge. People drive by, they see it, they give you a call.
7%
Friends and family that you know, the friends that they may know, they say, hey, go buy that house in for sale or because we want you to stay nearby us. That's a big deal. 7%.
5% builder or their agent.
Now think about this. Have you thought about that? Go to the builder and to their agent, get a flyer, professional one, and say, hey, I'm selling my house. If somebody could not buy a house in your development, please, I'm selling it. I'll give you a referral fee or even some commission to those agents too as well. That's 7%.
And 2% directly from seller.
Well, 2%. Think about this. If you are for sale by owner and you know that somebody wants to buy a house, you know them directly, you could talk to them. About 2% that happens.
And 1% newspaper ads.
Newspaper ads. Print. How many people are really actually still using that print? But you know what? You only need one buyer, right? I mean, that could work, but 7% on print, that's pretty good, I guess.
Can you list your house on the MLS?
Yes, you can. In fact, you should put your house on the MLS. Find the regulations and what's in your city and state. If that's a possibility for you, it costs a fee, and I know you can. Find with an agent and pay them a fee to put it on the MLS, and that would work too as well. Why not?
Step 4, identify your escrow, title company, and a lender.
Now, you want to identify your escrow, title company, and a lender. Escrow, you need to know where you're going to take your escrow, where you want to open escrow. In California, that is. Also, title company, you have to have a title search on your property. Who's title company? Most of the time, title company and escrow are in the same building a lot of times. Also, why do you want to find a lender?
A lender, so you could get cross-qualified. Make sure the buyer is good. Buyer.
That's a good point. You got to know a lender, that anybody who brings you a buyer and they say they qualify, they have a lender, you need to have a lender on your side so they could cross-qualify that buyer's lender and the buyer to make sure everything is up and up. You have to be careful with that.
Step 5, prepare the inconvenience to show your home.
It's called inconvenience to show your home. After you take a professional pictures and drone also and the videos and what have you, you really have to make your house look great. And it becomes a house. It's not a home anymore. When a home, you could come here, sit down, do whatever you want to do, no problem. But when it's a house, it's kind of cold. You have to make it ready.
It's inconvenient because you could be taking a shower and people could be knocking on the door.
That's welcome to a for sale by owner. If you're ready for that, that's you could do this. There's no problem.
Okay, step 6, be flexible and responsive to buyers.
That's you gotta be some professional on that. You have to be flexible. Buyers maybe come evening. They call you while you are eating dinner.
Yes.
Maybe when you are off. It's you gotta be flexible. You gotta accommodate their time because maybe that's the buyer who's gonna buy your house. You see, so you have to when you talk to them, even on inconvenient time. Have a smile on your face over the phone because it shows actually without you being seen. So you have to be professional, you have to accommodate, and you have to allow them to come in to see the house at an appointment that you have set and agreeable with both sides.
Step 7, negotiation.
Oh, negotiation. That's the most important thing. You have to be, or you have to expect some buyers are going to give you a lowball offer, the haggling on the price, yes. Right? They get it. I mean, that's part of it. Investors are going to be calling you all the time, say, "Hey, I'm the buyer. I'll buy your house cash." I mean, you have to know that. You have to expect it.
Yes, you have to.
About scams.
Yes, there's scammers out there, so be careful with that.
Scammers out there, they look perfect. They sound perfect. They're provided with a perfect documentation too as well. Boy, you have to be really, really careful with that.
Here is list of some of the people with whom you must be prepared to negotiate with.
Yes, and who are you going to be negotiating with?
The buyer.
The buyer. You are going to negotiate with the buyer directly back and forth.
The buyer's agent represent buyers only, paid by seller. You.
Oh, that's really interesting. Now, so here's a buyer who found an agent to represent them. They come to you and they start negotiating with you, representing the buyer, but they get paid by you, the seller.
It's kind of ironic.
That is ironic. Now I understand sometimes the buyer pay the agent, not the seller, but 90% of the time, the seller will pay commission to the buyer's agent to represent the buyer to sell their home. Think about that.
The buyer's attorney.
Sometimes buyers have an attorney. Different states, they have attorneys. They hire an attorney to represent them. You have to negotiate with that attorney.
And also with the home inspection company.
Home inspection company. That's why you need to fix every little tiny thing in your house to make it look good. Now, when you negotiate, there's something that's really ironic here. You have emotional ties to your house. So when people say some comments or do some things, it kind of makes you feel, that little edgy. However, you have to draw that line. Can you do that? If you can do that, you will be the perfect one for this.
Yes. Okay. And you have a termite company.
A termite company. You have to negotiate with a termite company. Dry rots, termite fly, even if you did it 3 months ago, there could be some termites in your house because they travel from one place to another early.
And the buyer's lender.
The buyer's lender. That's why you have to have that lender to communicate with lender to lender. They have their own language, if you will, to make sure everything is up and up for you.
You have to deal with the appraiser.
Appraiser. Hey, my house is worth this much because the area said so and so. That's why you have to price it properly so the appraisal will not be an issue.
The title company.
The title company. What if you have
judgments,
liens on your property that you don't even know about, that you haven't heard. They're not even yours, but they are on title. That's why you need to know the title company early on and run all that search to clear it.
And the buyer's buyer.
The buyer's that's an interesting. We used to do and or assignee as a buyer. Now here you are. If I'm a buyer, I buy the house for a certain amount of money. I go get somebody else. I'll give you my position. Give me $10,000 in there. Now it's called buyer's buyer. Now you have to negotiate with me. Then you have to negotiate with a new buyer. Good luck on that one.
It could get challenging.
It is challenging.
Step 8. hire a real estate attorney.
Now, if it becomes pretty hard for you and you really want to make sure that it's all okay, you know what? Hire an attorney to represent you, to go through all the documentation. We live in California. California is litigious. I'm going to say country, state, okay? It really is. The disclosures, the timing. You don't want to have a lawsuit on your hands 4 years or 5 years after a close of escrow because you did not tell them something. Although you are, for sale by owner, you're not like an agent, still you have to tell the truth on everything you know.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself. That's the bottom line. It's really a smart thing to do.
And have you considered an iBuyer?
iBuyer? What is an iBuyer?
Well, iBuyer are large, well-funded companies that use technology to make sight unseen cash offer on home, generally within a day or two.
So they are real. The iBuyers are real. They're huge companies. They're big, and they boom, sight unseen. They'll make an offer really quickly. However, keep that in mind that they could charge up to 9% on an average, sometimes 14%. Much higher than a real estate agent. And how they do it? By tie you in, going in, start inspecting. Now, why iBuyer buy houses anyway?
They're investors.
They're investors. They want to make money. Think about that. Why an iBuyer willing to buy you, pay cash, and just give the price that you want? Really? Are they gonna do that? Really? I mean, do you mean that iBuyer is gonna buy it because they just want to help you?
They're not going to
Think
even
about
live on
that.
the property, so
It's an investor. Find an investor and sell it to him if that's what you wanted to do. If you're ready to negotiate with that, just understand, learn how to do this properly.
Well, hope you found value in 8 steps and follow selling your home as FSBO.
If FSBO is something that makes sense to you, guess what? Do it. 11% do it, and they do it well. 5% or 8%, they may not do it well and they have problems. I would say 89%, there is a reason for 89% are not doing for sale by owner. Since the 80s, for sale by owner have been declining rapidly because of the contracts and the lawsuits, all that stuff. However, few could do it. If you could do it yourself, you want to build a house yourself, well, build a house yourself, build a house by owner. You could do for sale by owner.